It's Judy on the radio, building dreams and achieving more, telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. I am Dr. Judy, your radio host. I want to thank you for joining me. Now, the last few days, the last few weeks, I've been saying welcome to the sunshine state of Florida because we've had beautiful weather. And today it is like storming in Florida. Believe that? I mean, it is raining. It was thunder and lightning, but it's not. But guess what? It is still a beautiful day because I get to be here with you, and I am super excited about that. So this is your radio show where we help you to see it, because you can't see it unless you see it. And if you don't see it, that it's possible, you got to see it first, right? You got to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. Right? And that's real talk. What is it? Your dream, your vision. And you got to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. Everything you want to accomplish is possible if you only believe. Okay? But you got to see it first. And that's real talk. Here again, I am the people architect and your real talk host, Dr. Judy. I am going to navigate this show, but I have a special guest who are going to navigate it with me today. And I am so excited. But to all of you, I want to thank you all for coming back again. To those of you who will be your first time viewing this, I want to thank you. But to come back every Tuesday morning from 11:30 to 12:30 here on Hallelujah 95.3 FM with you, even on Hallelujah app, the 95.3 Hallelujah app, YouTube, Facebook. And so I want to invite you. But listen, do me a favor. I want you to go ahead and tag and share. Tag and share. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and tag and share. And if you're at your desk or in a safe place, go ahead and invite others to come on. There is going to be a great conversation today, and I am thankful. I am thankful that every Tuesday you tune in with me. Every Tuesday you choose to come back. And I want to say thank you so very much. And y'all already know this. I want you to go ahead and contact them now as I talk to my mom, as I greet my mother. Y'all know I have to greet my mother. So I want to say hello to my mom, Mother Irma, Dr. Irma Hunter Wesley, who is in Fort Lauderdale. She's the reason I am who I am. And I want to thank her so very much. She is still my trusted advisor, and she is still here in the land of the living. You all do me a favor. Don't ever stop praying for her. Keep praying for her as she continues to live. She called me this morning, wanted to know what the show is about. I count it an honor when she does that. And to my awesome and amazing husband, Superintendent Gerald Mandrell, Senior Pastor of Life Changing Church of God in Christ. He's the reason I get to do what I do. And to my production team, my amazing production team, led by Sister Priscilla John Lewis, our marketing director, and her amazing staff who helps me to deliver an award-winning show every Tuesday. Again, thank you to the greatest audience ever who keeps me coming back. I want to say thank you so very much. Now today I have a very special guest who's going to join me as my guest, and he's going to help me navigate this show. He's going to help me navigate it through these waters this morning. I am excited. I met him 4 days ago. And once we get to talking, you all are not going to believe that. I met him 4 days ago. He was in the Bahamas with me, Nassau, Bahamas. And many of you who will be tuning in know that the Lord opened up a door for me to minister over in Nassau. And my sister Carolyn and Danette, they were both over there with me. And we met this gentleman. Y'all, 4 days ago, I met him and he's on my show, right? 4 days ago. One of the things I want to say, his love for people, his love for enhancing people, his wisdom and his understanding. He works a lot in the National Church of God in Christ. But y'all, and guess what? His motto for his life is justice mine. How is that? If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody he's traveling wrong, then my living would not be in vain. He's a lover of God, the word, and people. Through faith, love, and passion for life, he stands on the tenet that all things are possible. 4 days ago, we met, all right? And we have some of the exact same philosophy in life. Some of the tenets that we stand on are exactly the same. You believe that all things are possible. God is sovereign. I mean, just so much. And I don't want to keep on going, but he's a minister, a consultant, administrator, instructor, inspirational speaker. Y'all, let me tell you, that was a preacher extraordinaire. He's a preacher. He's a CEO and cheerleader to countless individuals. He has traveled intensively throughout the country, coordinating major functions and preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. All right. He's going to tell us some more about it, but I just wanted to share this. His professional contribution to the world is advising businesses, programs, and ministries on best practices for maximizing services and the integration of cutting edge ideas in their system. His professional motto is conceive, believe, achieve success, and achieve success. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to you my friend, my brother, the one and only, Pastor Damon Stevenson, all the way from Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, son.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Dr. J. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. I am so glad you're on here.
It is my honor and my privilege to be with you this morning. I saw and went back and saw a couple of others. I'm in high cotton because, babe, you got some serious people that come on your broadcast. I said, I got to get myself together. My hair right.
Oh, you got your hair right. It's right.
All right. Then I'm
Good morning,
right.
Carolyn. It's right. It's right. You got it right. You got it right. Pastor Stephen, I'm so glad to have you here, that your schedule will permit. As I was saying to you, I met you 4 days ago.
4 days. Yes.
4 days ago. Even the people in the Bahamas couldn't believe that we had just met.
It was a divine connection from the moment you walked out of the airline terminal. We just immediately clicked, and it was my joy and privilege to meet you in person. So absolutely, yes. It don't take much. It don't take much when you with great people. So
it really doesn't. And y'all, I just want to let y'all know, Minister Howard, thank you so very much. And y'all go ahead and tag and get others on here. This is going to be good. I promise you, this is going to be good. So y'all go ahead and get others on here. But y'all, this man was there with me, and he preaches well, but he served me and Danette and Carolyn, but he served us. I mean, when I say served us, he didn't want us to pick up not one little thing. Cooked breakfast, had the table set. Remember how we like stuff. He knew how I like my drinks. I mean, this is 4 days, y'all. But this is like the second day. Knew what I wanted to drink, knew how I wanted it. And he's a pastor. Like Carolyn said, yes. I mean, he cooked, did a crab boil. It was phenomenal. Pastor Stevenson, you just don't have that by a man of your caliber. And I know you don't like all this accolade, but you don't find that as a man of your caliber. And then you was a speaker as well. I can never repay how you made us feel and what you did for us. I want to say thank you so very much for caring for us the way you did as an humble servant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The feeling is mutual. You made me feel amazing. You allow me to be myself, and you didn't put up a wall of relationship while we were there. Powerful woman of God, and your team with you was absolutely amazing. It was my joy just to be with you all, and if I can pour into y'all as much as I enjoy just the atmosphere of being with you all in this season, it can never fully be compensated how much you all meant to me for these last few days. We had fun, we laughed, we ate, and I mean, God is awesome.
He
Just
is.
you wouldn't think that we just met each other, but I feel so close to y'all. I can't wait to come to where y'all are and have a good time in Tallahassee. And for the record, you were amazing. The Lord just used you in such a phenomenal way. When I grow up, I want to be like you, and that's all I got to say. When I grow up, I ain't there yet. So
You ain't there yet?
no,
Man, you're good. You're
I'm
good.
still practicing. So I'm still
Well, y'all,
practicing.
he's
So,
gonna come to Tallahassee, y'all, and he's gonna preach. So y'all just get ready because he's coming to Tallahassee and he's gonna preach. So that's all I got to say
I
about
told you I ain't got to do nothing. I just want to come, give me a piece of chicken, let me sit on the back end, and I'll watch you and your husband do what y'all do, and let Danette sing, and I'm blessed. So blessed.
it. He said we just give him a breast, he'll be okay. But we're gonna give him more than a breast, because the man can preach. Tell the people. I know I said some things, but give the people a little bit more background about you. I want them to know. I read some stuff, but I want them to know a little bit more about you.
Well, generally, if I had to say anything, I am the product of where I was raised and who reared me in this time, this season. I was raised by my mother, who's a phenomenal woman, and my grandmother, and her father was the pastor of our church. I was reading something on the other day that you become what you are through osmosis. So the first stages of your life, you become what you are by the people and the experiences of what's around you. My family taught me to be about excellence, to be about service, and to be about doing it to the maximum level so that people will remember the impact you are when they're never even there around you again. And so I believe in that if we do the right thing and do it well, it will produce amazing fruit that will leave behind a legacy that goes far beyond a mere moment. It's going to canvas time. And so my job and my outlook has been that my mother was a child care professional. And so now I'm a child care professional. My family, fourth generation member of the Church of God in Christ. But I think that I'm more universal than just constrained to a denomination. I believe the word is applicable to everybody. I listen to everybody. I believe in everybody. I cheer on everybody. But our assignment is to be in this together and to grow each other, because I believe that all of us should be able to eat and enjoy and be satisfied in the goodness of the Lord in every aspect of who we are. And that has been my mantra. If I can help, if I can say, if I can show, then I won't have wasted my life in any way, form, or fashion. And so I've been designed to pour, and I've gotten good at being a master pourer. So that's pretty much sum total of who I am. You want a cheerleader? Call me. I got you. You want a road dog? Call me. I got you, because I believe in what I believe in. And I believe in doing it well. Eat good, have fun, and enjoy life. And see God's experience in everything that we do. I'm sorry. That's all. That's all you get from me. Go ahead, doctor. I won't whatever.
No, we just got so much in common here. My mom did childcare for 45 years. I do believe that we are a product of our environment. That's why I believe that people have to have exposure.
Yes.
They have to have exposure, Pastor.
Exactly.
And before we keep going, y'all, our topic today is going to be Together We Rise. Together We Rise. You see that? That's we have Pastor and I were, and well, he was talking to all of us. I kind of just took it in a little personal, but we were talking yesterday. I believe, yesterday while we were at the airport. Mm-hmm. We were at the airport for 6 hours. Mm-hmm. We were talking yesterday, and we started talking about Together We Rise. We started talking about sharing and making each other more and more. That's what happened with us. He was preaching Thursday night when we got in. He was preaching Thursday night, and I was taking notes of some things he was saying. Then I preached Friday night, and he was taking notes. And it's like we were trying to get from each other. We wanted to get from each other what each other have.
Absolutely.
We wanted it. And so,
absolutely.
And because of that, and watching his spirit, y'all, watching his spirit, just watching his mannerism, and he got in that kitchen and he cooked and he was sharing. He was sharing. So, Pastor, as we began to talk, and you said you were designed to pour. You were designed to pour. Let's talk about that, because that's going to lead into all of this. But you were designed to pour. How did you know that? Because and you're special, because some people don't. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Some people don't want to share, but Pastor, I can see you designed it. But even you sat down with Carolyn and start talking about that daycare and this and that, and you just pour, like you just open your lid and you just started. Talk about that a little bit.
It was just one of those things where I was able to manifest my gifts early. I was able to give access to what makes the inner workings of who I am. I like doing business. I like to read. I like to see people, the impact on people in everything that I do. And so after a while, it just became easy, and it became the subset and the internal natural component of who I am, where I want to see people experience the greatness of what God is in every aspect of life, whether it be personal, whether it be business, whether it be travel. And I find out that we have come to a point in life. I'm in my 40s now, but I remember when I was a kid, my mother would say that we had members of our family that had never left our city. Mm-hmm. We had members of our family that had never been to a nice restaurant. We had members of our family, not church, family, that had never tapped into the greatness of what's possible. And then we have people around us that give the noise that it's not possible, because they don't give you access. They don't give you a front to what they're doing, because they're trying to keep it for themselves. But when I learned over time that it's not that it's impossible, it's just that you have a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm a nosy kid. I want to know how it works. I want to know mechanics of it. And then I found out this is that there's always more than enough. If we understand that dynamic of there's always more than enough, why are we being so stingy? Why are we refusing to share? Why are we refusing to pour? Because, see, the mistake is thinking that pouring makes me at a loss, when pouring doesn't make me lose. Pouring gives me capacity to get more.
Yes.
And as I get more, I can give more. And then the more I pour to the right individuals, that means that I am now producing a font that I could tap into when I need something. So I see the reciprocation and the beautiful science of that. We're leaning in on each other, and that's what makes us all great together. And I absolutely believe in that. I live on that, and it's become easy to do it. It's not hard to be me.
Pastor, what do you think? What do you think have people in the word that you just used so stingy? I mean, and I know the part they think that it's going to make me look less. But what else do you think, Pastor, that hinder or prevent people from really sharing what they have to someone else?
I think it's two things. I think that they think that this potential of doing great things is a limited resource. So they already have assessed that only one person can have it all. So you become geared to doing things just for yourself and by yourself, because you don't believe there's enough for everybody. The other attitude, which is just blatantly clear, is that you want it all to yourself because you want to enjoy the goodness of everything, whether it's on somebody's back or not. And one of the things that I've learned, especially in business, is that the owner or the CEO or this or that wants to get as much money as they can, as fast as they can. And then you find out that they're breaking up unions and they're giving the minimum wage when they can give them $15 and $20 an hour. The auto workers are fighting right now to get a raise when the CEO is getting millions of dollars for dismantling things. The thought process is that they don't think that there's enough. And I got to get as much as I can, as fast as I can. And so there's no time and no room for me to share. But I like what the founder of Amazon said. He said, you don't realize that he is a billionaire. And he says, I only own 17% of the company. He said, I only own 17% of the company and I'm a billionaire, which means that I don't have to take it all to myself in order for us all to make it, to rise and to grow together. He says the key is that I take enough so that I can be at my capacity, and then I ain't got to store it up, because I believe there's scripture that says that when, great analogy, is the manna, when he said, only take for what you need today, and if you take any more, it's going to spoil. So you're wasting in the concept of that. You can't listen, and you can't take it to the grave with you. So why are you even wasting your time? I'm sorry. That's the key. That's the key.
That's good. Yeah, because and I shared with you earlier, my mom is one. My mom did her child development center for 45 years, but she had those women who worked for her. It was mandated that they get their director's
Mandated.
It was no if or if. She made them get it.
And what did she get out of it? What did she get out of having them get their degree?
Pastor, she got them working with her for 40. They worked with her for 40. One worked 45 years, 42 years, 40 years, 30 something years, 20. I mean, they stayed there and they invested. She taught them everything she knew of how to run a daycare, a child development center. And she was one of the top. And the Moran, Jim, and his wife, Moran, who owned a car company. I'm in his institute right now. He was a billionaire, right? He had her birthday on a yacht and invited all of them. All of them got to go. She did not want to go by herself. She wanted all of them to go. But every year, I don't know, for 12 or 15 years, he gave her a check, that he and his wife a check for $25,000 for her child development center. Gave her 5 vans. And she taught her staff, her team. Right. She poured into them. And she was hard. Now, she would yell at them sometimes. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all mind stop? What's wrong with you? Can't think. But she would not allow them to settle. And Pastor, and I believe that's where we get it from. She poured. She poured into us, her children. She would not allow us to settle for anything. She made us do better. Reading books.
Yes.
Oh my God. My sister in Scotland have read the dictionary over and over. I mean, the dictionary. Who read a dictionary? But my mother told us, learn how to speak, learn how to study, to do this, pour. And she took us with her. Precept and example, Pastor. She was not afraid to do it.
Exactly.
And she said that we should be better than she is, but she kept going. She wouldn't stop.
Right.
Which means we had to keep going. She had 2 of us in college at the same time, and she went and got hers. Because one of my sisters was saying how hard it was. So she went to school. She went and got her bachelor's to show us that you just have to study. She would say, now your mama got an A. What y'all get on y'all test?
Excellence is a standard, but the competition is only with me. So excellence is the standard.
Say that again. I like that.
Excellence is the standard, but the competition is only with me. Because I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody.
Ain't got nothing to prove.
And once we try we're competing against others for us to make the mark, we miss the fact that if you just be an excellent you, you're going to achieve more than you could ever trying to run against me. Because I tell people all the time that when I think of the concept of what you're saying right now, is that I believe that we speak into it, we invest in it, and then we call it out. Mm-hmm. So we speak into what we want the person to be. We invest in them becoming what we see within them, and then we call out any of the inconsistencies and the roadblocks that create them into what they're going to be, because I believe that people are etched stone that we master over time. And I got to give my investment in them. Your mother invested in you, spoken to you, but she didn't make it easy for you either, because we always trying to make it easy, especially with our African-American children, even adults, forget children, adults. Society has afforded us that we don't speak, we don't invest, and we don't call out. Wrong is wrong, and don't be lazy, so that we can master something in you to make you amazing. You can be amazing. It's not about me getting credit, because see, my greatest opportunity is that I didn't need you. I cooked for you and the girls. The crew. Not because I was trying to hopefully that y'all would say, oh, in the middle of this time and this season. Did I lose you?
Oh, okay.
We're back. Yes. We back. We lost each other for a minute. I was nervous.
It's okay.
I did it because I wanted to make sure that.
Go ahead.
I wasn't trying to get credit. I was trying to make sure that I left an impact on you, on the experiences that I have had, so that you can take those experiences and give it to somebody else. I'm not looking for you to return on me, because I've already been where I just took you. So you don't try to take me to where I've been. Go beyond me, or facilitate thinking and nuancing what I've done to take it to a whole nother level. We got to be about that mentality. I wasn't looking for, okay, tomorrow they're going to serve me, because I never even asked y'all to serve me. I did it out of the essence of understanding that I know what excellence is. And the only person I'm competing with is me. But I want you to rise with me. I want you to grow with me. I want you to gain with me, because we're all, I'm sorry, Pastor Dr. J, I look at us as the concept of houses on the same street.
All right.
The valuation of your house is literally linked to the valuation of my house.
Right.
So the cost and the increase in value is predicated upon that. If I got green grass and you got dead grass, my value gonna go down because of what you are. But what if I find out that you don't know and don't have the tools on how to grow grass? I need to give you my tools so that you can grow into what you have without me trying to take your stuff. I don't need your house. I got my own.
Got my own house.
But we both blessed, and the value of all of us goes together. Oh my God, that's so good. I need 2 bedrooms, you need 5. But if we do it together, the value of your house goes up and the value of mine goes up, and we lose nothing in the process. In fact, can I come over and have a piece of toast, just to see what it's like to dine at your table? Because I definitely bring you to mine. I'm sorry. That's right, Pastor. And that's how we have to get this concept. I like that. As we rise together, we increase each other value. Exactly.
And we should want to see the value of us grow up.
Exactly.
We should want to see that.
Yes.
We should. But for whatever, it's not the big person at the top. When we were in Bahamas, we concluded that they need help. They need help.
Yes.
They don't need anybody coming over there milking them. The people in Bahamas need help.
Exactly.
And that's what we gave to them. We gave to them help.
Exactly.
When we went over there and we preached, we knew it wasn't going to be no all of that.
Exactly.
But we was on a mission trip.
We was on a mission trip. That's what we call it.
Harrison took us. She showed us the value of serving others who are less fortunate than us, but the value it gave to us.
Exactly. Exactly.
It built capacity
Mm-hmm.
within us. Like we wanted to help their grass grow greener.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Man, this is good. And so together we rise, Pastor. What does that look like to you? But together we rise. That's what we're talking about. So what does that look like?
It to me is very simply that we got to link up that scripture that we talk about in Ecclesiastes 4 that says uh, 2-4 cord is not easily broken. I mean, 3-4, it says 2 shall withstand him, but the 3-4 cord is not easily broken. What we have to do is we have to take into consideration the concept of rising requires work, but it also requires partnership. At the end of the day, I cannot go any higher than my capacity to bring people up with me.
Mm-hmm.
No company rises by itself.
Right.
It has to have the like-minded and strong-minded people in their skill set that affords them the ability to increase the value of everything around them. I'm a food person, so I understand the concept of dough. Dough is great, but if I have the flour and I have the milk and I have the eggs and I have the sugar, but I don't have no yeast, then the dough is not going to rise. In other words, I have to have activators.
Yeah.
I have to have people that come alongside. You are an activator. You are one of those people that will walk in and say, I see the raw material that we're working with. Now let's bring it all together so that we can make something grow out of this. Yeah. Rising requires work and it requires activation. And we cannot allow people to kill the concept with negative thinking along the way of us trying to take it together, or the concept of individuality. We cannot invest so much in you that you forget that, listen, you are in the Mercedes. I may not want a Mercedes. Can you just give me a Hoopty and a Nissan and keep it moving? But you so stuck on trying to make sure that you keep your Mercedes that you won't even give me the opportunity to get a Hoopty. And so you're going to allow me to walk while you're rising, when that's just the most nastiest concept that we could ever have. So rising requires activation. It requires work and working with the right materials. People are the right materials. Yeah. We went to the Bahamas. They have a passion for what they want to be, but they don't have the right tools and they don't have the right mindset in some areas to understand stuff that's simple to me and you is hard for them to function in. Yeah. And so what do? I can't go in there saying, give me $1,000 and then I'm going to show you how to do it. Exactly. I got to go in and say, I don't need you to give me nothing. Let me pour into you. So that eventually we're on equal levels, because the boats rise together. They all, the scripture, my bishop told me this, and I created a foundation. It's called the Other Ships Foundation. He preached that message about Jesus saying, let's go over to the other side. And it says, he said, let us go over to the other side. And the scripture says, and him and other ships went over to the other side when the storm came. Now, the storm came, it did not just rock the ship that they were in, it rocked every other ship on the sea at the same time. When he got done saying, peace be still, it did not just put an umbrella over the one that they were at. It literally affected every other ship that was in the same storm that they were in. He didn't say to them, now pay me for my services. He said, let's go over to the other side. When did we get so nasty that we want to rise and look down on other people? And I learned this, the one I have people around me right now, they big-headed. Lady J, Dr. J, I'm telling you like this. I found out this. The higher you go looking down on people, when you fall, it's nasty. Because you try to rise on other people's shoulders. And when your fall hit, it's going to hit you hard, because you never were taught the dynamics that we're all in this together.
And Pastor, that is dangerous.
Dangerous.
And because you get there, and I was sharing with Danette and Carolyn on our way home, but I often tell this to people is that I think about 35 or 40 years ago, a pastor here in the city was preaching, and he said no one get the big head immediately, but by the time people finish saying, "Oh, you bless me," "Oh, thank you," "Oh, you heal me," "Oh, this and that," he said their head starts swelling, and so pride set in. And then you start thinking that you're so much better than others. Then you just keep going and you keep going, and that pride come in more and more. He told us, he said, watch the pride. He said, you control the pride that comes into your life. Because at that point, Pastor, we have to be so careful that now we think we're so much better than everybody else.
Exactly.
We think that everybody have to look up to us.
Right.
And we forget, like you're saying, we're on the same street.
Right.
We're in the same water. We're in the same water. It's just that your ship might be a little larger at the moment. But if that storm rage, it's going to get all of us.
At the same time.
At the same time. So let's rise together. Let's help each other. Let's share what we know so we can help each other. It seems like it's so hard for some people. It seems like that concept they're not getting. We're better together. The Bible say 1 to 2, 2 is better than 1, because we both going to get a greater reward. We're going to get a greater reward. You succeed, I succeed, we got a greater reward.
But I look at it like this: is that we looking for people are looking more for exclusivity. But the thing about the concept of exclusivity is that by design, exclusive means there should be only one. How do you think you can be exclusive if there's more than one option, or there's more than one car made like yours? So if you got a Mercedes and they made 10,000 of them, why don't you try to help me get a Mercedes like you got? But you want to be exclusive in the neighborhood, or you want to be exclusive entirely, when sometimes the access to it is for everybody. You just big-headed and nasty, and you don't want me to rise with you. Something as simple as this. I remember when am I right? I'm sorry. I like TSA PreCheck at the airport.
Yes.
TSA PreCheck is a blessing. I thank God for it all the time.
Yes,
but I remember before I learned about TSA PreCheck, I was standing in the line and I'm watching these individuals walk past all of us, and they get there faster than all the rest of us. I'm standing in line in Orlando with 1,000 people waiting to get through, and I got to take my shoes off. I take everything out of my bag. I got to do all of this stuff, and I'm watching this individual that's not standing in my line. And so one day I finally just said, I just stopped somebody and said, how did you get that? And they said, all you got to do is register with the government and you can get what I got. I said, hold on, wait a minute. But why didn't nobody ever tell me this? Am I thinking wrong? Nobody told me. So I'm standing in the line where everybody else that's on your line is going through. But then I thought to myself, so now people say, well, Damon, you think you are all this and bougie because you got TSA PreCheck. I said, no. I said, you forget. You can have the same access that I have if you're willing to make the investment, if you're willing to listen to instructions, and you're willing to do the work. I mean, so if you do it, we can be in PreCheck together. And I'm not going to lie to you. I tell all of my friends, don't travel with me when I'm going through the line, because you don't want to make the investment. I will see you on the other side. I'll wait for you on the other side. But I told you what you needed to do to get access to. That's how we rise together. When I told you the tools, I gave you, and I've paid for people to get it. So because I'm tired of waiting for you. Dr. J, don't come with me, and I got to wait for you on the other side every time we go somewhere. After the 31st trip, I'm sorry, I can't be waiting for you no more. We're trying to go somewhere. We got to do this together.
Now, so let me ask you something, because I love your rules too, but let me ask you something. So you got people who won't even take advantage.
No.
Or take advantage of what you're giving or what you're sharing. And it's frustrating at times. What do you do at that moment? They just won't take it. And then you still want to go back and tell them, just want to shake them. Come on. What do you do? Because we got people listening who say, well, I'm going to try to help people and they don't want to come on. What do you do?
I learned this the hard way. There are some people that are just not going to want it.
Ooh.
And I didn't understand where he said the poor will be with you always. And he says that to make you understand that, perfect example is that we think that every homeless individual got there by circumstance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's absolutely not true.
Right.
Some of them got there by choice.
Yes.
They literally said, I no longer want to do the work that society requires. And so I'm more happy with having a bed on the cement block than trying to do the work so that I can live in a simple mattress. And so you got to understand, you get to a point that I've invested and I've poured into you and you no longer want to receive. I think you recall when I was preaching on Thursday night, I told them I don't have nothing to prove to you anymore. Mm-hmm. And as a minister of the gospel, my assignment is to just pour into you, to give you the rules, to give you the good news. But if you want to go to hell after I've given you all the information, that's on you. It's your choice. But I used to live in the space that I was losing myself, mm-hmm. investing and continuing to pour into a dead thing. And the problem is that I had to learn to let it go. And then maybe if I poured today, I believe that in the future, maybe that nugget of seed I put will finally become a reality. Now, I'm not counting you out. I'm just not counting you that you're not part of the game right now. Right. So that I pour and I have to step away until you're ready to come into this grand circle of knowledge. You blew my mind with the way you think of ministry. You blew my mind with how you were talking about things that I've never seen and heard before, and how you've done ministry as such, and the way you speak it and the way you talk. I can't do it like you. But honey, just being around you gives me access to becoming better at who I am. And sometimes people don't want to receive that. And so you got to be okay with them not wanting what you want.
Yeah, you're right. My sister Tanya was saying that most by choice, and I learned that about the homeless, that there were many who was out there because they wanted to be. Not that they couldn't afford not to be there, but they wanted to be. Somebody there with master's degree, not that they couldn't go get a job, but as you're stating, they didn't want to do the work. And my mother told us this. She said, the poor you're going to have with you always, but you do not have to be the poor.
Let me write that down.
She said, the poor you're going to have with you always. But my mother told us, you don't have to be the poor. You don't have to be. And so what she did, Pastor, what you're saying, she poured into her children. My dad poured into us. They taught us both biblical and street. My mom taught us a lot of biblical principles, professionalism and all that. My daddy taught us a lot of street and a lot of professional. There were people in the chair that I didn't really like who were serving. My dad told me, he said, Judy, now my dad didn't really care about some of the leadership in the church because he didn't think that they deserved to lead God people based on the way they lived.
Right.
You know, my dad saw people, because soon my dad got saved, they wanted to make him a deacon. And so my dad went back there. He wouldn't take it. He wouldn't take it. But he went back there to help them count the offering. He saw the pastor give $100 after asking all the members for all this money. Then they were told, take the pastor money back out, then take this much out, and then report this much. That turned my dad off. Because my dad wasn't cricket like that. That turned my dad off. So my dad said, Judy, respect the seat. Honor the seat, which means that you give respect to whoever in that seat. Even if you don't like what they're doing, you give respect to that seat. And this is what my dad said. He said, one day you're going to be in a seat.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
He said, and you're going to want the same respect. He said, but hear this, Judy, it don't just come, it's earned. Because there's a difference than respecting the seat out of respect and respecting the seat out of your heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so they're going to remember which one you are when you get in the seat.
Exactly.
You're going to be identified by how you worked in that seat.
You are.
Absolutely.
Oh, you are. And so, and as we looking at this, Pastor, there's so many who can do better if they are willing to work.
Right. Absolutely.
See the investment and also invest in themselves. They have to do it, because as we're rising together, you got to have people who are ready to rise. You got to have people who see the value in what you're giving and what I'm giving and what others are given to pour into them.
Exactly.
They have to be ready to receive this knowledge. Receive, because you didn't get here. We didn't just get here because we said hocus pocus.
Right.
It took work. It took time. It took investment.
Exactly.
You know, what I'm seeing, even as I'm talking with you, and I tried to do this, I think the other day or something, but when the painter painted on these high building, and they got I think they told me it's a lifter, but they got this big thing on there. So there's this square piece on there, but it has to be balanced, or if you don't, it's gonna tilt while you're rising. And that's what I'm seeing as we're talking. We have to have balance.
Exactly.
As we're going up.
Right.
There has to be a balance, or else it's not gonna rise to like it's supposed to rise. What if I help you rise? You don't help me rise now, Pastor, and I outrise you. You have poured into me, Pastor Stevenson. You have poured into me. You have poured into Judy Mandrell. And all of a sudden, you was helping me rise. We're still rising, but for whatever reason, I rose a little faster. Talk about that.
The mechanics of rising is built on the capacity of every individual to handle what they have been given. Just because I got there first, or I helped you get there, does not mean that you won't exceed me or excel higher than me. But the key is that I look at it like I do. I'm a professional developer. I have clients that are millionaires that make money, do well in doing what we do, and I'm a consultant to them. But see, I have to look at it from the framework that they have taken and mastered the advice I've given them, but my hands are part of the process that has given them the ability to excel beyond me. So even though they may go higher than me, my imprint has been made part of their excelling. The problem is that oftentimes they don't want to give you credit. And guess what? I'm cool with that, because when people get to looking at stuff, they look at it and say, but Damon, you were doing it first. I'm like, don't mean that just because I was doing it first, don't mean that they can't do it better than me. The key is that I left my imprint on them. Let people go to the capacity of their design, because let me be clear, you not be able to handle what they can handle. You might not even want what they got. So my mama might only want a 2-bedroom, and I might like 20. But with 20, I got to clean 20 rooms. So if I'm going to excel, I got to be able to handle where I excel too. But that don't negate what my mother has taught and poured into me. I'm supposed to go higher than her because I was able to use her experience to become who I am. So you got to give credit, and God's going to get the glory out of all of it. So why in the world am I fighting? Because T.D. Jakes says that he will never forget the fact that his bishop is the one that gave him his first opportunity to preach in a revival. And he said he preached his socks off. Now he's TD Jakes Worldwide International, but he still remembers who got him there. His leader is not as well known as he is, but he still honors him, and he honors the fact that my son has become the ultimate, and I had an impact on that. You got to be able to be clear on the fact that they may exceed you, but I had an impact on that. I put something in it.
Yes.
But let me be clear. But we all good, because when he eats steak, I eat steak. When he eat the donut, I eat the donut. When he I get the look. And now it's not on my dime no more. So now I ain't got to spend the money. Dr. J, I'm coming to your house because you got more than me. So I ain't got to worry about it though. Oh, I'm sorry. People don't understand that. I can give it up once you go beyond me. But we feel good together, because my house value went up when you built 4 or 5, acres of property. That's the mentality has to be that if you grow, we all get blessed. But we got to teach humility. A lot of times we're making the mistake of that. Here's the key to this. This is a mistake, is that we don't, let me say it the right way. We don't manipulate seed that is eventually going to grow and excel beyond us with the concepts of humility and the concept of remembrance of where you came from, to the degree that we have taught the concept of getting it without the concept of remembering how you got it. And so we have done a disservice to the growth of the rising concept, but not teaching. Remember the mother that prayed for you to get here. Remember the father that served years, just making sure that you went to school. Remember the pastor and the preacher who got together to raise the money just so that you could get through that semester. And now you're looking down on them, or that built the church, or that built the ministry, or that built the business that you now have, because we have taught and we have done a disservice in treating the concept of service. We've done the concept of getting and attaining without giving the concept of service and remembering where we came from. But we still got a chance to teach it. And that's why I said sometimes you got to call them out. It's the first thing I said. You got to make sure that nut be clear. Baby, don't try to act like you better than me just because you got on red bottoms now. I remember when you wore jellies. I remember when you was walking barefoot in the grass, and now you're trying to think that you better than somebody else. But the reason that you can wear the red bottoms now is because I bought the jellies. The reason you wear red bottoms now, it wasn't just on your work. It was because we did the sacrifice for you, because sometimes you needed somebody, even if it was bad, to help you become who you are. Even if I threw manure on you, and my bishop says it like this, Dr. J, I got this one clear. I have not always had leaders that promoted me, not always had leaders that believed in me, not had leaders that invested in me, but they were some good manure. And they were good manure on my life, because this is what they did. They provided the energy of their nastiness to provide me the ability to take the energy out of it and leave the crap behind. So I'm happy that you looked at me crazy and you talked to me crazy, because you taught me how to be humble. You taught me how to value what I got, and understand that I'm not going to be like you. So I'm going to let you be manure, and I'm going to be great and grow from what I got out of you, which was energy and nothing else. We're gonna rise together. Am I?
You teaching good, sir. Look at that. He's talking good.
Because that's the key.
Good. Amen.
For you.
The saints listen. It's saying if you don't treat people right and trying to excel, doesn't mean you're gonna stay to the top. Man, right. Look at that. They because this is good tone. This is stuff that we got to understand. And you got to remember, when you were wearing the jelly, who helped you get up? But sometimes they don't remember that. But it don't mean it doesn't happen. It still happens. And guess what? If they ain't careful, they're coming back down.
They're coming right back down.
They're coming down. And guess who's still going to be there? Growing out of the manure. Boy, you done said something right there. You done said growing out of the manure.
Growing out of the manure.
Y'all, that'll preach right. Y'all put that in the chat. Y'all put that in the chat. Growing out of the manure.
Out of the
I'm
manure.
growing, yeah, and that's a good holy way to say it. We're growing out of the manure.
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of other terms that come in my mind, but you know, we on live broadcast.
I may speak right now because you put manure on me. But baby, oh man, this is good. Y'all see, this is how we jived together when we were over there. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
And guess what? A good leader, a good investor, want to see you grow.
Want to see you grow.
Most time people buy building, like what you're giving, you buy it because you see the growth. You see the potential.
Yes.
You see what could be.
Yes.
You know, you see what could be.
Yes.
And so you want it to grow. So you make the investment and you clean up and you pour into them. And then when they get to going up there, some of them just want to forget that you helped them because they think, okay, now I'm here now. So I don't need you now. But when you was a little snotty nose something, when you didn't have it, you were right here wearing the jellies. I like that. But then I still want you to rise. I still want you to rise.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to provoke them. Sometimes going in that building, you know, we're gonna soon. I'm gonna let you say something a little bit, and then we're gonna get ready to go. But I was watching the news today, and they were showing all of these schools in like Baltimore and different places, the black schools. The black schools. We were thinking about. They were showing how bad they are, running water, floors out, and all of this. But they say that they had taken the money, the rich side of the city, that's where all of the money goes, even when they do taxes and all of that. So they don't invest into the schools, and they don't give them anything. I think it's in New Orleans now. They can't even drink the water at the schools.
I've heard that.
You know, and I was watching that today. But then they got a new superintendent, and he said and most of the schools are black, minority school. The superintendent is a white guy, and he said the first time he got in office, he couldn't sleep. He said it hurt his heart to know that they were taking the majority of the tax money, investing in something that was already established.
Right.
But here they had these schools, and these children had the potential to be better if they were given better and the environment changed, Pastor. So some of us had the potential to help others come up. And he said the only thing he's going to get out of this is to know that he gave 500 or 600 children the opportunity to learn in a better environment. Mm-hmm. Pastor, that's what we have here today, to help people to understand that we have the opportunity to help others to rise with us. That should be our heart. And people you invest in should excel you. I told my sister Carolyn, I said, you've done something. My sister Tanya has her master's. My sister Carolyn graduated with a 4.0. All of them helped me. My whole family think I'm all that, right? We all think each other, all of that. So we invest in each other. We push each other. But they have accomplished something that I've never accomplished. I never got a 4.0, and I didn't get my master's. My sister Tanya worked on that, and she got it first. But she wanted me to have it. So they push and they push. My sister Cindy wanted me to write my book. So she set up over 4.5 hours at Thanksgiving one year. And we sat at the table, and she gave me how to write this book. Because they see the potential. They saw the potential. My sister Robin and my cousin fasted. They were going on week number 3. I didn't know they were fasting that I was to get saved. I told them I would have got saved and didn't tell them. They still would have been fasting. But they saw the potential. They saw the potential. And so as the Lord take us up, I can't forget that. I can't forget that. And I make mention of it all the time. Supervisor Harrison afforded me an opportunity to go to a foreign country. I would never forget that. You afforded us the opportunity to act like we were royalty. Just get up in our plates there. Our breakfast done, our dinner done, and you fixing the plates and knowing what we want to drink. I'd never forget that. Why? Because we rising together, we rise.
Yes.
Give me, what time is it? Give me a minute. I think I got to find my watch. Give me a minute. Speak to the people right quickly. Give them something. Together we rise. Talk to them.
This is our assignment to each other. And I believe that as she has afforded us the opportunity to have this moment together, to rise together, I have to be able to first say, I believe in you. I see you. And I want you to be alongside me so that we can go up together. And as long as you're willing to make the investment, as long as we're willing to see each other for who we are and where we're going to be, I see greatness in you. And I see the Lord doing absolutely ridiculous things on your behalf, because I have not seen, ear have not heard, neither has it entered in what he's going to do with what is on the inside of you. And I'm going to be blessed simply because I'm connected to something amazing. Thank you so very much, Dr. J, and the people of the Lord all over the very world. I enjoy just your presence and the opportunity to be part of this broadcast. And I hope to hear testimony and report of great people being birthed out of these conversations. May you be blessed. God bless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all, thank you. This is Pastor Damian Stevenson from Omaha, Nebraska. This man is a blessing to everybody, not just the body of Christ, but the business world, everything. He has certainly blessed my life. And to all of those of you who joined me today, thank you so very much. If you would do me a favor, please share this on your page. Please share this on your page. Please share this on your page. All of y'all, share this on your page. I believe that this talk today is going to really burst something great. Pastor, thank you again so very much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you. Carolyn said, phenomenal show. Thank you all so very much. Minister Howard, thank you again so much for always inviting 50 more people to come on every Tuesday. I greatly appreciate you. Y'all join me tonight at 7:30 at Life Changes. Priscilla, missionary John Lewis, is going to be teaching another great Bible study tonight. She taught a great one last Tuesday. Our son, our assistant pastor, Elder Wilderspoon, is going to teach us, give us some prayer principles again tonight at 7, and she will be there. Y'all join me again next Sunday at 11 a.m. Listen, Thursday, and I'm going to end, but Thursday, y'all, they will decide who's the leader of the year going to be. Thank you so very much, Sister Maria. All of y'all, thank y'all. Y'all share this now on your page. Share this on your page. Thursday, they're going to choose who's going to be the leader of the year for Tallahassee. And I am one of 3 finalists. Y'all pray for me.
Why? You are it, whether they put the name on it or not. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be sitting up here acting like I don't know that. We're going to pray that they know what they should know before we even get there. Thank you very much. I approve this message. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dr. J.
I love that man right there. All right. So I'm getting out of here, but yep, I look to bring it home. That's all right.
Bring it home. Bring it home. Yeah.
Bring it home.
Yeah. Bring it home.
I love you guys. It's been a pleasing, plum pleasure to serve you this morning. And look, I see us in the future. And guess what we're doing? Together we're rising. That's real talk.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk.